It's fine.
You're no sneaking past.
Right, so we're back with the semi-final here. Alyx Drake versus Mat Lewin. Neverborn versus Guild.
What are these cards he's using?
I think that's his strats and scheme cards.
Oh, interesting.
Just looks like they've not been folded over.
Talking about strats and schemes, Joe, what do we have this round?
So it's flank deployment with Headhunter, eliminate, dig the graves, inescapable trap, take one for the team, and public demonstration.
Very nice. And Alyx is playing Gremlins?
Neverborn.
Neverborn. And Matt is on Guild.
Yeah. Oh. So it's Lucius. Or at least he suspects Lucius.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's a good way to play mind games with your opponent. You know that it's like I know he plays a lot of melee, so be like before you start, tell me all about melee, please. And your opponent's like shit, maybe I should play something else. So this is Alyx on the mind games. Aye.
What works really well in this game?
So hopefully the players stay on the sides that they're sat at already, but if not, we'll have to do some shifting around of these names.
Oh, maybe Matt has actually declared a crew. It looks like he's.
Oh, it looks like they might already be at that point. Yeah, they both have cards out.
Yeah. So see Richard from. Rider. So Alyx and Zoraida and Matt potentially and Lucius. So this could be a very interesting matchup.
Not the typical choices for Headhunter. I suppose you can obey to get their heads, but not your typical killy choice. I suspect we'll see a Nikima on the Neverborn side.
Yeah, it looks like that's Iggy as well, potentially just by the card.
I do like Iggy.
She basically got her order. So I've got Zoraida, Rudolph not yet, got Wisp, Iggy, Stitched, Valgast,
Yep, there's Nikima. Yep. So all the guys.
Right.
So no upgrades on Nikima either.
We've got Lucius with deep pockets. Yep. Francisco with Wayne in and onto the world. The world is a Finland traditions, and you would make the take actions discard card.
So Num to World could be quite important in this
Good
matchup.
counter here.
Yep.
Yep.
Execution upgrade will work, which is a 0 upgrade. Yep, so you can discard the upgrade charge for 1. Ferrari Club.
That's very good.
Down, suppression markers. So you print it. Fairly right. They can enchant weapons. Right, they can enchant weapons, so it's a 1 action. One of the 6 inches, card 6.
Good way to get through the wall, guys.
Scribe as well. And Guild Investigator. So definitely two very interesting lists actually. This could be a lot of fun.
So it sounds like Matt suspected Zoraida with what he's brought here.
Yep.
He's got the anti-suit tech with the Queller.
Yep.
He's got the Witchling Stalker to remove the Hen condition.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Frank, he's got Numb to the World, so you can ignore obeys. Yes, thank you, Matt.
And it seems that he's kind of brought a bit more of a killy list than Alyx. Like, it looks like Alyx obviously got. What was he calling you out for?
Maybe he's running down really quickly. Maybe. He's like, don't worry, guys. I'm coming to the rescue.
I feel like we should now text them and say, Dickhead's got him.
What are you saying?
Okay.
I hope not. Swear like a fisherman's wife on a meeting.
But yeah, no, it
Joe
seems
came
like.
down to explain what the rules of the stream were. It would be really nice.
Lou's down now.
Lou's already down there. Why do I need to go down?
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, while they're defining today, like I said, I feel like Matt has a lot more kind of killer lists for what's coming up here.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
So buildings.
he's got a couple of killer things.
We don't have any.
Sorry, 2 seconds.
He's got an Executioner, he's got a Witch and Thrall. These
Got
guys
the
are,
Executioner, the Thrall, and Francisco.
yeah,
so
those guys are very, very super.
They're definitely hard hitters, but Nikima and Baby Cade are also really good themselves.
Yeah, Nakima's an absolute house.
I think I missed one of the models, but I'm not 100% sure from that crew.
What's Iggy, Stitch, Wall Guys, Baby Kid, Nakima.
No, 7-7.
So, yeah.
So yeah, he does have one fewer hitter, but Nikima's quite the hitter.
But, yeah, and so's the rider, like, moves the rider.
Yeah, with the being able to make Nikima charge, it's really, really good.
Or, you know, can it be Matt's own big hitters to smash up his own crew, but
Yeah.
but certainly Lucius has his own shenanigans as well, so it could be a lot of fun in this game. So these guys are just defining the board, the same board as we saw Ollie and Luke play on, so
Yeah, just selecting schemes.
what do you think? We could go here.
So, take one for the team on Nikima or Baby Cage might be a good shout.
Do you think maybe Matt will shy away from take one for the team because he could maybe dish out like a bunch of burning or something like that, and again
I don't know,
around it?
possibly.
Or
Yeah.
do you think he'll still just go for it? Even obey, like maybe get some of his own models to kill him all, like you know, so it could be a bit more risky. Dig, I think he's if you're playing Headhunter, you're going to have to kill things to get heads. You know, don't see why not at the same time drop scheme markers to try and do the 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing.
Lucius has got the ability of being able to hand out essentially "Don't mind me" to his entire crew, so that'll be a massive help as well for this strategy.
Especially for Headhunter, for sure. Public demo. Don't know if
So I think
I
that
would
he's
try.
possibly got the capability to do it, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So
Wallgeist and
Worldgeist, Stitched, and then I think if you add a Wisp onto that, that's exactly 15. But then for Lucius, we've got a Witchling Stalker, Thrall, and an Guest Investigator. Because
the public demo's
execution is
definitely
not. So public demonstration is an option for both of them. Take one for the team is always an option.
yeah, an escapable trap. I'm not personally a fan of that scheme, but I've seen other people try.
Take
and
the
make it work.
Graves in Headhunter might be fine.
Yeah.
Eliminate. They're both
Could
fairly
be tough. Yeah.
They're both fairly resilient masters. So
Yeah. Certainly no glass cannons here.
yeah.
But in saying that, if there's anyone going to get an eliminated leadership, Nikima is going to be your girl, and you know, Executioner and Thrall will definitely try and do their best as well.
The Executioner
so.
can just go in and ignore the defensive triggers as well on his rider.
And he has decapitated, if I do remember correctly, as well, so that could just be a instant chop. So yeah, this could be. Do you think both players will play KJ, or do you think they're just going to be right at each other? Maybe spend a turn feeling each other out, setting the pace, or do you think it'll just be gun ho both in?
I think they'll try and like burn through a couple of useless activations and then save the kind of more important things for a little bit later on. So let's see who's got the choice of sides here.
We love lazy players, and it means we don't have to change the names around. Okay, so what's in here? It looks like they're both using the deck flipper as well.
I presume that's where
Good guys.
he hasn't actually come out of the
Hello, Alex's face.
Well, Alex knows that we've now screen capped that, and we'll now be using all the promotional stuff, so thanks for that, man.
100%.
kind of a free-for-all on the stream, to be honest. Just don't say anything that'll get us banned, and it's all good.
No nudity, and that's fine.
Yeah, no, nothing of sexual nature or any sort of like basis of our bigotry. We're all good. We managed to get through Louis on day one, then we could get through anyone else, to be honest.
Let's send Matt a message.
Flank deployment as well, actually. That's one thing we never touched on. So both these players are going to be quite close to each other. Or do have the potential to be quite close to each other with flank. And it looks like Alyx is Alyx deploying first, or is it Mat who's deploying first?
So I think Alyx won the choice and just stayed where he is.
Cool. So he'll be deploying first.
Right, we sent Matt a message.
Yeah, because Louis is down there, you know, we should
Louis
point
is
out
down
is
there.
this is the second half of the Scottish meta,
He's now no longer playing in Masters, he's been knocked out.
but yet has still managed to not do anything.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Surprised? Not really. He's off being salty in the corner somewhere.
I think he's playing versus Luke for a tiny fraction of pride.
So, the way that Alyx is deploying right now, he's deciding to just opt to put them all right on like a 18-inch line now.
There is a long
I think the puppet is a proxy for Nakima there, actually, with the very large sword.
Yeah, he said he was using puppets for the models for his crew, so they fit in with the theme.
Ah, okay. So it looks like Wisp up there in the top right, Eggy in the middle, and what's on the left there? Actually, that's one that I don't know.
Which one?
So you got Wisp on the right, Eggy in the middle, and then can't quite figure out what that one is in the middle. So
there's a rider, Waldergeist. Might be a puppet that's representing a Waldergeist.
Ah, okay. Nakima obviously there, stitched.
So on the bottom is... There's also a baby cage, so the top one that's tiny is a baby cage.
Yeah.
And the bottom one is a Waldergeist on the 40.
2 parties, yeah. So of course, I looks like an executioner getting placed.
Right, so there are 8 models, there is something else that I've not got from his deployment
missed.
yet.
I'm sure we'll figure it out sooner rather than later.
We'll figure that out.
We're smart boys. For the most part.
Debatable.
Debatable indeed. So it looks like Executioner, it's Frank, yeah, and the Witch and Thrall are all getting plonked together as a big beefy line. Is that Witch and Stalker just behind those guys?
Yeah, so the Witchling Stalker's just there to
Yep.
remove the conditions.
Is it the Scribe's just going behind the Executioner? No, behind Frank, sorry.
Been a little bit precise, apologise.
Is it Matt's just making sure that he's getting all these guys in and getting his measurement right?
Making sure he can fit 2 ski markers in there for his investigator.
Interesting deployment by Alyx. I like the Nakima right in the middle, kind of giving the spread to cover both the flank with Zoraida and the flank with the Stitch and the Wisp. Ball guy, sorry. So that's Lucius down.
That's Lucius down in the middle, yeah.
And there's an investigator next to Lucius there as well on the right hand side.
That's the investigator at the top.
Oh, is that the investigator at the top there? Sorry. So is it the Queller that's to decide?
I think so.
Lucius.
That might be the Queller just down there. Well, all guild models look the same.
he walks, you can let him roll with him.
So Matt's choosing to be to deploy a bit more central and just all together.
There's a little. I suppose there's not really much of a risk he can be funneled in because after his first activations he's going to be out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is a bit of a. He's not got a lot of options for his movements for the first couple of activations at least.
So I got 7 cards. This is not easier if I'm honest, Joe.
This is a pain in the ass.
I'm sure they'll get over it. They're big boys.
I'm going to spend a stake.
Okay, so both
Both
players,
stone in
both electing to rummage a bit more to try and sculpt their opening hands. So obviously both got their own agendas of what they want to get done and accomplish turn one. And
Having more options with Lucius as well helps with his deep pockets ability.
It's a great start. It's better than mine.
I'll tell you what, initially it's quite
It's very kind of Alyx letting Matt go first.
yeah. Look, why is this saying instead of playing on the stage at Nationals, I presume is what he's referring to.
He's going to place a scheme off.
So this is the scribe.
Yes, he's measured out earlier that he could fit 2 markers in this little alleyway.
Because it's within.
So here comes Frank.
Yep. So moving up his moving up his front line.
Yeah, it's all just come together. Here we go. So both players with similar amount of activations here. So Alyx playing it safe to start off with his wall guys. So Wally's going up and going defensive.
Yep.
So that is the Queller on the right hand side.
Yes.
Sup, yo?
Standing on the cart. So throwing down his markers.
3 of times off.
And the suppression markers is the ones that turn off suits, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's really good against a bay, which does need the double suits. It's a 30mm marker, I think, that you place, and then it's everything within 3 inches of that.
So it's just going to be super annoying with the Queller and get this down nice and early.
And you've got to kill the Queller to get rid of them. So that's Annual Form he's talking about.
Like pretty central.
So there's a suppression marker.
Yep.
So Alyx will be wanting to keep definitely 3 inches away from that.
Yep.
Now, does it also affect friendly models, or is it just purely his opponent?
I think it's just opponent's models that remove all the suits. But
So it looks like he's maybe doing some baby kids.
yeah, Cade's got a lower. He'll have to stay outside the 3 inches, but he's definitely thinking about it.
maybe get, you know, just a little bit.
Not sure about the baby dance. Good day for them.
It's a bit hard for Alyx to look like a baby when he's over 6 foot with a big beard.
With that beard, yeah. This is this kid trying to lure
the Queller over.
So So Matt obviously not a fan of that.
Nope.
Like, I'm not fooled by
He's not for it. The Queller wasn't impressed with the bearded man stance.
I'm not fooled by your toys.
Wow.
So back over to Matt. So Matt seems to be very conscious that he doesn't want one of these models just to kind of go wandering
Yes.
out from his crew and get picked off in that respect. So
Well, you could, if Zraider obeys to make a lure, and then obeys the Queller to walk or charge forwards, then that's
Yeah.
like way out of position, and he'll get rid of the suppression markers for the rest of the game.
Yep.
So,
So you think the Queller might be on close to the top of the list for models that need to go for Alyx. Of course, it'd be also very helpful for him as well if he's able to pull a model all the way out of position in towards Alyx's crew for Headhunter. You know, so instead of killing
Yes.
something further
Yeah,
back
for
and then
sure.
having to compete with the rest of his crew, it's just delivered on a plate to him right there. It's going to be
could
super
also be
easy.
a good target for taking for the team, knowing how much of a target it is.
True. So this is the Witch and Stalker that was going. It's now hiding.
Form a line, boys. Let's go.
It's important to note that Executioner and Frank have still not been yet, even though they've moved forward a little bit. Both pushed.
Yes, I would like to say it was.
But what I'm trying to is range is 10, and I'm thinking, can I be 10 inches away from him?
So is this looking like he wants to try and get in a hemmed target, potentially?
I'm not sure what he's measuring for. It's very close.
Yeah, even with laser pens.
Be a bit more speed. So, can I come down?
Alyx feels he's need to rush his game a
So I
little
think
bit.
this is Zraider taking 10-inch fly around. Oh no, that's he wants to hem.
Yeah, that's what I'm
that
thinking.
model.
He's wanting to try and hem something. He might even just spend this turn kind of repositioning his crew so he has better lines.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to place the stall, not within 3 inches.
So he's also not wanting the doll to be near the suppression marker as well. So
Yeah, it's just the Wisp coming and making the voodoo doll for him.
Alright, fly a bit.
Yep.
It was basically the reason so he goes and tries to change it. Takes the one hand.
So he is trying to hem the Executioner, so he feels the Executioner's the bigger threat out of the mini beaters.
So 17's a good start,
Yeah.
especially since that was a 1 flipped by there.
Yes. The Flippin Wyrds with their own customised deck, looks
Yep.
cool. So Matt happy to let that go.
Yep.
So the Executioner is hemmed.
Also gives him the activation in the middle.
Yeah, it's true. So he's activation. a little bit of thinking.
So he's already been with the Witchling Stalker this turn as well, so he can't remove him anymore.
His condition removal has gone.
So once your doll has been summoned, can it sack itself?
No. So it's any damage that falls to the doll happens to any conditions that happen to the doll. And the way you kill the doll takes the
So Matt just trying to figure out exactly what what's in store for the Executioner. So as you hear Alex describing, any damage the doll is going to take is going to get
you can charge in and try and kill it.
The Executioner, any conditions etc. as well. So for example, burning, poison that the doll would receive, he would also receive, but would also get the damage from the burning and poison conditions simultaneously as well. So it's nasty stuff. So he's definitely one to be careful. So this is Guild Investigator going just to draw his card. Sucking up that scheme marker that was very helpfully left by the scribe. It's almost like he planned it.
So they're both just playing around with their positioning on the first turn. It looks like Alex is trying to split apart Matt's crew a little bit, especially since he deployed so blocked together as well. And if I'm correct, the Voodoo Doll doesn't drop a head either when it's killed because it is insignificant. A peon.
So Matt's kind of just put up a suppression marker with a Queller, drop scheme marker, drawn a card,
he's
just
just
kind of
got
push these guys a
movement,
little bit.
so-
So he's still playing very cagey at the start here, but you know. Alex moving forward a wee bit more, getting that hem in, so seems like Alex seems to be a bit more the aggressor in this matchup. Looks like he's so Doll's coming back, to go play with the rest of the crew.
So one of the things that you can do with the doll as well is if Zoraida interacts with the doll, you get to make a walk action, I believe, with the hemmed model.
So it can be another way for him to pull.
Can be another way for him to pull it over into the crew.
Lower than me. I think it's got
Lucius doing bit of a mulligan.
So discarded an 8, drew a 7, which he then discarded again. I don't know what he drew into, but it had different artworks. I think it might have been a face card, so paid off for his little gamble.
So what can he do with Lucius here, Joe? Do you think that could?
What's that?
What can Matt do with Lucius in this situation that can help him?
So he's going to try and get the condition removed this way.
Seems Matt's hand's pretty good. He's seeing a bunch of models.
Go with it afterwards. But he's going to do something to worry if he actually does dispel magic.
So this needs a suit.
It's a 3
Close.
So he's removed hemmed.
Yep. So Lucius was commanding the Witchling Stalker to remove the conditions from the executioner.
So Lucius will
So it's been a fairly long term one as well so far. Frank does let you get into the action quite early.
Yeah. Doll's still got to go, like, it's not actually moved.
The voodoo doll has.
Oh no, it did. He did
Yeah,
actually. I
walked
thought he did
backwards.
move it himself, but yeah. So it's been moved forward. So not needing to worry about Hens potentially, no, because he still has the rider that can.
So rider can pop out of one of our own.
Yeah. This is Matt making sure he's out of Nakima's killing range. Don't blame him.
She's being a bitch, she's, you know.
It's unlikely she'll kill him in one hit. So he's now unpacking his crew, pushing them out.
So here comes the big guys. Frank and Execution moving forward again. Not sure if the Wallgeist is within charge or not the Executioner.
Well, the Executioner can take a one action charge with his upgrade,
Oh, okay, so you can walk in.
so he can walk and then charge.
Second, a 0 action gear investigation. Which that's going on.
This is the don't mind me that he's trying to hand
Yes.
down. Which is cool.
It's only within 6 inches, but it might be useful.
Yeah, it's very, very useful in certainly this scheme pool with Headhunter.
So the Frau has a
It's also useful for inescapable trap. If he has taken that, just being able to plot the scheme markers down. So that's a gut.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Normally he just leaps with that joker.
This is a low mass, so Alex's death shaft that he's got gets to leap. Something Alex is still very wary of. The incoming Executioner Frank and
So these could be dig graves.
very good setup. So a leap place and then a
Slight
slight
reposition.
reverse back, yeah. Protection of the keeper.
So the Executioner's quite good against the Wallgeist because he ignores armour, does he not, with his claws?
I'm not 100% sure. It's weird because I've ran into a lot of these guys. You'd think I'd know that for sure.
I'll have a little search.
But Alex has still got quite a bunch of stuff to go himself. Like Stitch Together and Akima and Zoraida are all big pieces that could.
They're just both dancing around this first turn.
Thrall's got a bit more movement. 0 with the push, so you can kind of follow suit for 6 inches. It's also potentially a good counter if Alex has gone for Dig Their Graves, if he's wanted to dump scheme markers near the Thrall. The Thrall does get those 3 attack actions, if I remember correctly, for scheme markers getting placed around them.
He ignores defense triggers, not armour. Okay.
So armor's still relevant here.
That's a good point. So I think actually what we'll do is we'll just shoot
So Frank taking some shots at the wisp.
Yep.
shoot with this. Oh no, it's a 1. Shoot 6.
Defense 1, I believe.
Might be a dead wisp.
Oh, it's the wisp, not the doll.
Yeah, no wisp. I believe he put El Mayo up on Frank as well, so try and help him out if Nakima does jump on Frank.
So 2 Cosmic Corporeal.
Yep. They got 3 wins each, or
It's getting shot.
yeah. I imagine Alex is not super happy about this because it is his kind of doll delivery system. Yep, so this is a dead wisp. So the head will get rocked.
So head onto one of the classic schemes.
So Matt gets to decide where he wants to pop this head.
So even if he puts it towards his crew, it's going to be still going to be probably closer to the Neverborn, but you can't score turn 1 anyway. So
yeah, so he's just bonking it as close as he can. So you can hopefully pick it up for next turn.
Yep.
Head marker within 3 inches line of sight of the field or something like that before moving it. Play the marker main place the base contact of any model. If there's nowhere it can legally in place, then skip place. You know, 1 inch.
Matt very helpfully describing exactly what headhunter is.
What a vegetable frog.
And no take 115 revealed, so
Nope. The wisp would be a very unusual place to put it.
true, but you never know.
What's his charge?
Yeah, excuse me. So he's got a 7-inch charge for 2 inches, 9 inches. So effectively, he's got 12 inches.
So quite a large threat range with this one AP charge.
It's really obscure. I just get to he's actually not. Yeah, like didn't know what to do with his life. Yeah. Just like, oh, okay.
This is a Stitch coming up.
This is the Stitch walking up.
Yep. This is going for a creepy fog.
I don't think it's massively important right now because it only stops shooting attacks, it just gives cover.
But Alyx going to drop down an scheme marker, so definitely looks like maybe
It looks like he could have Dig the Graves or an Inescapable Trap.
Inescapable Trap, yep. Still both players not really left in the deployment zone.
Yeah. So Alyx tried to take a few pieces with a lure and then some kind of throwaway models.
Yeah. Also trying to maybe potentially bait Matt a little bit with by moving forward that roll guy still a little bit. Now he's kind of put the Stitch out there as well, so maybe see if he can get one of these pieces to charge in and then Nikiba to kind of counter charge.
Yep.
But we'll see if Matt goes for it or if he's. Does he go for it? I don't think has Iggy gone this turn yet, or
Iggy's not been.
yeah,
Zoraida's not been. And Nakima's not been.
Yeah.
And on the other side we've got the Executioner and the Thrall.
Yep.
I think that's it.
So try and keep Executioner well out of harm's way. So there's like a prophecy walk and then charge.
Yeah, what's going to happen is the execution's going to go. Charge down the side. So it's charging, stick together.
So possibly reactivating the Stitch tier.
Yeah, could do. So how many wins does Stitch have roughly again?
I think it's 7.
7, yeah.
7.
So
and on a Crossroad, I also have Bloody Expedition, which is 2 cards, 2 stones.
unfortunately, I feel like a model named Executioner is only going to do like pretty horrific things. I'm afraid,
especially when you're defense 4.
Yeah. So Severe here would put the Stitch Slayer down to its hard to kill. With the crit strike if he goes for it.
So he's going for the crit strike instead of the auto kill.
Moderate is fine.
So not hard to kill, importantly.
So this is for rotten content?
Yes.
Cool. So second attack.
All left. So seems to be not bad flip for the Stitch. Ooh. So another negative flip.
So this is just going to put him on reactivate, I believe.
Yeah. I think this might be the Crow. Nope, but he has the crit side battle in anyway. I thought Matt flipped the Crow, might have been wrong, but maybe thought he just went for the insta dead instead of.
So he's going to eat the ski marker and take an attack.
So rotten contents here from the Stitch together. The Wall Geister would only take one though because of the armor. Yeah, this is definitely rude. Yeah, so maybe not a reacting Stitch in the end, just a dead Stitch. Oh, potentially not.
So he's going to have to cheat high here again?
Yeah. Yep.
So just need to not Black Joker the damage?
Yeah.
Nope.
So ahead as well?
Yes, it's a 13.
So I
So
feel like Matt,
he drops a scrap.
yeah.
So the
Looks like
when the execution kills model, he immediately makes a heal trigger of 3, 4, 5. He heals 3.
hopefully these guys haven't forgot their head marker.
What's this?
So hopefully they've not forgot to put down their head marker.
Oh yeah.
No, he's just like.
Yeah, I think he just got a bit wanting to get rid of the Stitch rather than anything else.
Yeah.
Defense 7, isn't it? He's indeed defense 7. He has 10 revolts.
Yeah, looks like we might have forgot.
So Matt is playing Lucius. You can see him just hiding behind the wagon in front of the Witchwing Thrower. So there's Raider and Nikima still to activate over on this side as well.
So I feel like Matt'd be quite happy with this first turn. He's managed to get rid of the Wisp and the Stitch, so
Yep.
two kind of key pieces for Alyx's crew. He's not actually had to extend too far either when you think about it. You know. There we go, at least remember now.
That's good.
The last thing we'll do is down the line and they're trying to chase a head marker all the way up the table if there's one right next to them. Yeah, so he's probably just got to dump it right next to Executioner. You could just handily watch over the heads.
Yeah. You'll have to walk over and pick it up, but he's guarding it at least.
Yeah. So this looks like Nikima might want revenge on the Stitch. So yeah, big sword coming.
Yep. So that's 1 AP from her. So he wants the powerful control charge here, so he needs a double mask.
Okay.
Yep, there you go, gets it.
Nice. Well, don't Black Joker this. No, don't be a legend this. Same, don't flip black.
So the other opponent is Alyx Drake, as it says in text at the bottom of the screen.
Let's do some beating this.
Alex beating Lou previously to make it here, and it's Matt beating George.
7, 11, 13.
So both players still have a couple cards now, and I think Alex has maybe a couple more. Kind of let the Stitch just dies.
Yeah, Lou spent
a
Mat
bunch
Lewin
of cards.
spent a lot of his cards here.
Yeah, to try and kill off the Stitch, including the Red Joker. Actually, was definitely one of them. But earlier when we saw him kind of rummaging with Mulligan with Lucius, he did discard an 8, so we know that Matt's hand's been pretty good this turn 1 actually.
I do think he might have slightly misplayed with his cards there. If he'd have cheated the Severe on his first attack, because he was on a straight flip, he would have knocked him down to hard to wound immediately. With the second AP, he would have been able to kill him, and then he could have used the 0 to walk backwards and get out of, or at least much further away from the crew for the...
It just depends on how
reprisal we're seeing,
important he thought sucking up that scheme marker was, and you know, I guess in the position he is right now, as much as he did get charged by Nekima, he was kind of looking after the head marker. But again, you know, how much do you value that over just being away from a Nekima?
Yeah, because he can take a he can take a walk action, so he would have been able to walk backwards from that.
The Executioner's walk 5.
I think it's 4 normally,
right.
and he had discarded his upgrade at that point to get the charge in.
So Nekima dealing 5 to the Executioner, he'd definitely feel that. Important to note that he did heal the 2 damage he did take from Rotten Contents when he did kill the Stitch.
So trying to get the hem back out here by obeying the doll. Goes off.
Yeah. So maybe on the Koala. Yep.
It's a good flip from
Yeah, Alex will be happy with that. So not a bad turn for Zoraida there.
So Iggy's still to go. So Iggy might be able to take out the Thralian Queller with the burning.
Yeah. What is the range for Iggy to be able to deal that many burning? That's the real question here. So
I know he's got Insight, but Insight I don't think will be cast on the doll. So it's range 12.
okay,
So
probably in
yeah,
range
you
here.
can.
Stack a bunch of burning. Because obviously the Queller will get the burning condition, but will also take the damage from
Yes, when he takes
his
the
own burning condition as well as the dolls. So sharing that burning out. Matt's just got the Witch and Thrall left to go.
So Matt has the Thrall, and Alex still has the Nekima, because that was the Raiders activation.
Don't know if you'd want to, but maybe the Thrall could potentially get in 0 to push 6 towards Frank.
Yeah.
Maybe get into Nekima. Don't know. Could be a bad idea. Probably.
Excuse me.
Well,
There is the option of just taking out the puppet now.
the doll.
You're going to be
the doll.
damaging the guy, but you get around the burning that way. If he engages as well, he has to randomise into combat because it is a gun.
Yeah. It looks like he is choosing to go towards the doll. He might even want to try, if I can remember correctly, Kent Thralls pull the doll as well, so he might even try and just pull the doll towards his crew so it's out of range.
It looks like he's just setting up for next turn, maybe. Yeah, so it's Nekima and Iggy.
Yeah.
So this might be an early take one for the team as well on the Executioner.
Yeah, it could be.
So he needs to get a 3 burning on there on one of them.
So it looks like he's happy with the 2 burning.
So 2 burning for me, 2 burning for you.
Sharing the burner around. Good guy, Alex.
So this will be 4 and then 4, so that's 8 damage at the end, which should finish him off.
No trickery, no and then Nicky will go slap the executioner.
So this will actually could turn out to be quite an interesting trade. Wisp and a Stitch for a Queller and potentially an Executioner. It's actually red Joker, so yes. That's So Alex electing to draw cards. Executioner goes down.
So not take one for the team yet?
not reveals. If it is.
It'll be 2 points, I believe, this early on.
So many choices for Alex there for picking up heads. I was thinking maybe he might put it a bit closer towards the wall, guys.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get it further away from the guild crew.
Yeah. Try and keep it away from the thrall as well.
Could charge in on Frank this turn.
Yeah, if he had used his melee expert.
Oh, he's just
out.
Oh, yeah, he can charge in.
Yeah, there it is. That can be part of the charge. What defense? Defense 5.
This could be a good turn.
Yeah.
So he's got a 0. He's considering. There's 2 options that Nikima has. There's the if you kill someone, you get to draw a card. No, you heal 2 and do a pulse for terrifying tests. The other one is where you can damage yourself to spill black blood.
Stab herself.
That might be needed to get through the hard to wound,
yeah.
but I don't think he's going to be in range with.
He's got to go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I like you. No guts, no glory. Alex seems very excited about the prospect of just chucking Nikima in there after slaughtering an Executioner and he
Melee
after
7
5.
against.
Defense 5?
Yeah. So he's just abandoning the head marker that he's in base contact with.
I'm a fan of this. It keeps entertaining.
It makes.
Life is very different. Oh, he actually
He forgot the trigger, just forgot to actually resolve it.
draw the card. Yeah.
It's not great. Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
So actually, if he had remembered his trigger, the 2 would have been in his hand, so his first attack would have been the 20. So it's unfortunate.
So if I'm right, he has armor on him. No, he's got his hard to kill upgrade. Yeah.
So Frank's on 2 wins remaining, is that correct?
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Indeed. So, Dog takes 4, Dog takes 4, I take 4, and then take burning 4. Is that correct?
Or the other way around.
So Queller Executioner down, Frank in trouble,
And Alex has lost a Wisp.
and Stitch.
A Wisp and a Stitched.
Yeah.
So
Importantly as well is these Alex, the wall guys could kind of just lumber towards one of the head markers for next turn as well.
we've said it a few times. The initiative's going to be really important here.
Yes, yeah. Do you think if Alex gets initiative, kind of goes melee expert with Nikima, stabs himself, maybe goes after the Watching Fall?
He could go for, if he takes out Frank and the Thrall, then Lucius has got no hitting power left. He might also, if Mat gets initiative, then Frank and the Thrall could take out Nikima because of Companion.
So big initiative, just like
It's a very important initiative flip, and it's only the start of turn 2.
It was interesting because Turn 1 there, we're talking about how Mat hadn't really left his deployment, he was playing a bit more cagier, and Alyx was being a bit more of the aggressor.
Yeah.
And then the Executioner came out, you know, Frank's shot killed the Wisp, Executioner came out, killed the Stitch, and then the Chemo came back and retaliated to the Executioner, so we kind of went 0 to 60 very quickly near the end there, so.
Especially with Alyx saying that there's definitely a different way he could have done that. The Executioner was only on 1 wound, so he could have just bled on himself and then had 3 attacks on Frank. Or if you'd remembered the draw card trigger, would have also been
Would have been key, but you know, it happens to the best of us.
Yes.
So it looks like Mat looking to get some more cards in hands. Well, not more as such as
I don't
try
know
and
how
improve the
many.
quality.
I don't know how many Alyx has got left. I can see a couple down at the bottom at least. So I might be saving those to try and protect Nikema.
She is only defense 5.
She is.
Yeah. Massive willpower, but not so good in the defense. It's a pretty good initiative flip. It's better than Mat's.
This could be a very important flip here.
Yeah, so 10's such an awkward one as well. Like, you know, you can beat it, but it's also a hard one with initiative. Sometimes you see like an 11, you're like, no, like, you know, I'm not gonna do this. But 10, you do fancy your luck potentially.
I can understand him taking
Oh yeah, the
taking a
Queller
while to think
suppression
about
mark
this.
as well. Yeah, forgot to remove. Tough decision, especially when you got Nikema staring down you like this. Yeah. Mat knows how important it is. Oh, unlucky. 2 is not good.
I think a normal one would throw Nikema.
Yeah, so I think that'd be safe to say.
Is it
Alyx maybe thinking of something a bit more tricksy up his sleeve here. Interesting to see where he goes with it.
I like the insinuation that Alyx isn't a normal player.
Yeah, he's like a normal player, but to me, he is going to go Nikema. Alyx kind of going with the status quo here, and he goes with Nikema.
So if he knocks him down to hard to kill,
Can bleed on him.
well, I would then fly into the middle of all those models and then bleed. And you've still got 1 AP left then to attack somebody else.
Of course, yeah, of course. Blackbud's only within a 1 inch, so he can't get Frank from where Nikema is currently.
So the Thrall, let's check him again.
Tough decision. I think it'd be safe to say if Alyx has a card in hand here, he will probably cheat up. Yeah. 2 hit Frank. Especially if it's a tome to draw a card, it may be worth it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So he goes down his hard to kill. Well, Alyx
If I
remembers
was
to draw his
Alyx,
cards.
I would walk and then do the bleed. Yeah, but we'll see. No, he's just going for the other attack.
Alyx didn't draw his card, did he?
He did.
Did he? Good stuff. What a champion. So he actually just chose to use his second AP just to. Well, he used melee XP, so this is his first XP to just to. So he has got 1 more AP with Nikema.
Yeah.
And 0. Just outside. Nikema proving why she's been in like so many Neverborn lists from the get-go.
And she still has 1 AP, so could just fly away.
Yeah, just get out of there. Could reposition so that Zoraida could maybe potentially
Just
get her
stand
back
over
in.
the head.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there's an easy head whichever way, so I possibly would have been a bit safer when they came in.
This is in Thrall's range,
Yeah.
and Luscious could tell the Thrall as well to continue beating up Nikema, so she might not be super safe in this position. So choices for Matt. Does he go with the Thrall, or what does he start right now? He's got the Witchling Stalker, he's got the Guild
He's got the
Investigator,
Witchling Stalker, the Guild Investigator.
he's got Lucius, he's got the Thrall. Because Frank's down, Executioner's down, Queller's down. He's also got the Scribe, I guess.
He does have the Scribe.
The Scribe and Witchling Stalker hiding behind that wall. Just south from Lucius.
He is. It was a fairly slow first turn, and they're still taking a while to think, but there's not many models left to activate, and they are very important activations.
Yeah. Because Matt knows that these games kind of... It's in like a teetering edge right now. This next couple of activations will all really kind of pan out if he can win this game, basically.
So I suspect that Alyx has got Dig Their Graves with how he tried to place the markers at the first turn, and how he was trying to pull the models into his crew.
Yeah.
So he might have to ration his kills for the rest of the game.
Yeah. He will have the activations to do so over now, seeing that he's managed to remove a couple of models. Saying that he's lost to himself, but he's still up. Because right enough, both players, no schemes revealed as of yet. There was no take one for a team on Frank or on the Executioner.
So I don't think that puppet's still there. Oh no, it is. It only took 4 damage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Puppet has 6 wounds, if I remember.
Yeah, it has 6 wounds.
Yeah.
So it only has 2 left, and it isn't him to anybody.
Okay. Also very relevant. Draw a card. For a horse.
Push the Thrall.
Yep.
Once per turn, after an open wall, place the scheme, move forward to and they take a 1 attack action.
So it's 2-inch engagement for the Thrall?
2-inch engagement, so it must have been 5 away.
I feel like that's been some spit one. People are wondering why Nikima's not terrifying, as you can see what she's just done to an Executioner or Frank. It's covered in bloods, but not that terrifying. So melee 6 from a Thrall, if I remember correctly. Defense 5, so...
It's also the reason why... I don't know that Alyx knows the Witchling Thralls too much. What he's talking now. Attacking the Thrall doesn't really matter too much, because he heals when he attacks a willpower 5 or higher model, 6 or higher. So doing some damage to him and then him healing back up isn't really what you want to be wasting Nikima actions on.
It's not efficient.
Not at all.
And say that, what is his healing hit?
He heals 2 when he
heals 2
every time he damages someone willpower 6 or higher.
Nikima is weak 4, I guess. So maybe if he had gone for the play where he flies in the middle, splashes black blood, and then he could go with Zoraida, and then Zoraida could have potentially finished off. So, but
So I think he might lose Nikima here.
Yeah.
So the Thrall's still not activated, and he's got Lucius.
Yeah. So. 3 attack from the Investigator with the Thrall, and then.
Sounds like Alyx is planning something.
Yes. Always scheming with Zoraida, that's for sure. So you're thinking maybe hemming?
Making the Thrall charge Lucius? Or trying to hem the...
Yeah. Maybe Matt didn't go for any of the kind of... take one for the teams because he knows of him with the dolls and
Possibly.
all these conditions of burning.
It is risk.
So unsuccessful.
So he's just trying to get the hem off him.
It also had a bad game, you know, killed off a Queller, just unsuccessful.
That
with
particular
Heaven.
doll's done. I think the next one might be.
Yes. So leaves Alyx thinking again, you know. In saying that, if the doll did hem the Thrall, the Witchling Stalker was just behind the Thrall, so.
The Thralls only have 12 wounds, only. So the Burning Trip won't fully finish him off next round.
No. Like you said, it's hard to kind of put chip damage onto him as well when he starts just punching big models because he can just heal it right back off. Interesting that Cade, Zoraida and Iggy still just on their toe line of deployment.
I don't think any of them's taken a walk action.
No, they've all just kind of sat there and done their thing.
So I don't know whether the Waldegeist is in range of the head markers at the bottom, but the guts surely should be with a leap.
Yeah. So I was also thinking we would potentially move the gut down towards the Kima to try and place the scheme marker if he's feeling hopeful that he could survive. Yeah. So then if he's got dig for Nikima to then hopefully score it. But I feel that's very reactionary on what Mat does. Yes. It's okay, Mat, that's just life feelings in general.
So I think Mat might be taken aback by how much he's lost so early.
Yeah, it was quite the onslaught. Once he, you know, when Mat had taken the weapon instead, she looked like he was in a really strong command position.
Yeah.
And that just counter attack from the Kima was brutal from Alyx. It was. So that's the scribe moving up.
Yeah.
And making sure he was in 3 of Lucius.
So he's put up some sort of little aura.
So who does it got? So just looking for a mask? Okay. So maybe going for the head marker furthest to the right there, potentially? Yeah, so he's just going to go and secure the points. I like this play. It's just good, sensible.
That's the one which is closest to all of the guild models as well.
Yeah. Well, the closest one would be the one that Nikima's standing on, but nobody's taking that off her anytime soon. But no, I think it's just good intelligent play. Just go score your points while you can. Easy points like you said last time when he wasn't quite sure what to do. Place a ski marker, kind of kicked about.
Yeah.
Just go score your points and get yourself on the boards. So, Witch and Stalker.
Okay, so the
Thrall and the Lucius.
The scribe has a aura of +1 defense to friendly models within 3.
Nice. Does believe the scribe a little exposed, but the scribe is a peon if I remember correctly, so he's not dropping a head.
He's a minion.
Marker. Oh, is he?
Yeah,
he is
he's
dropping
a
a head
minion
marker.
He got updated.
My mistake. Remembering that Daisy Yonder, he got a promotion.
He got a promotion.
He did good. Yes, Mat says points do mean prizes, so he's probably trying to figure out how to score himself a head marker this turn.
Possibly.
That's going to be the big thing.
So, unlike Zoraida, he can't just obey Nikima to walk away from that head.
So he's maybe thinking Thrall, because he can issue orders for the Thrall to use an interact action, correct?
Yes, so the Thralls get to go, so the Thrall could try and kill Nikima.
Then use him to move to then try and pick up the heads. So he's going to go with Lucius first.
So we believe it's just Lucius, the Witchling Stalker, and the Witchling Thrall.
Yeah. And it looks like Mat's hand's pretty good actually as well, just from the quick glimpse.
Sort of handling.
So you discarded the 7 there, so the card he's
Must
drawn
have drawn
is
something
higher,
better.
so yeah.
Or equal to.
True. Just be happy with another 7. So moving forward. 2 AP left. There goes a treat. It's the story of this board, unfortunately.
Then he's going to issue commands to push 3 inches and interact, I believe. can interact while engaged.
So you don't mind me, basically.
So that's inbuilt trigger on this.
Yeah. So Matt also is going for a strategy. So
Yep.
So very good. So Lucius should have one more AP here, right?
Yep.
So interesting if he maybe had walked down with the Wallgeist instead of using the guts to pick up the head that's closest to the Wallgeist. He might have been. I think Matt would have still been able to push the fall in some direction that it wouldn't have been in his engagement range. But maybe something to reflect on for Alyx. I'm saying that it's done now, but both players are going for strategy, so they'll both be chuffing that. Scheme wise,
So that means Matt's keeping up on the strategy at least.
yeah, it's important,
It is. You can fall behind on the board as long as you keep up on the table.
Yeah.
So I believe this is the jump over.
Yeah, this looks like it's just. Close to that.
It's a 7 mask off.
I wonder that has it in hand.
Yeah. So here comes shenanigans. See if he can get it in range for Diggler Graves.
Yep. Measured it just now.
There's this model and base contact the target for anyone. And then
Lucius doing his magic trick. Yep.
target base contact and then base target base contact stick. Right here, top and here.
So the throw's back.
Yep.
So he doesn't want to be within 3 because then he'll be in engagement range with Nikima, yeah. But he wants to be
So he
within
wants
2.
to be able to charge in.
Yeah.
So fairly confident that Matt's got Dig the Graves
Yeah.
with how he's playing this here.
Does mean Lucius is all by himself over there on the left hand
does.
side. No longer within that aura of +1 defense to describe.
Yep.
Defensive tech from Cell, Joe.
So he can, I believe he can discard cards to make attacks on negatives against him.
Matt has a lot of cards still in hand.
He does. Zoraida's not been yet, has she?
No.
So
So the whole top line there of Barricade, Zoraida, and Digger have yet to activate.
so
Same with the Wallgeist, actually.
depending on what's in his hand, he could have animal formed to be within range of obeying Nikima and use the double master trigger to get a charge off.
Could be pretty filthy. We'd also get Nikima away from those scheme markers that he's
Yes.
obviously trying to score Diggler Graves off of. Alyx doesn't seem too fussed about the Thrall lining up for Nikima.
No. So just spending 2 AP to walk there, making sure that he
Just fully on the
call
head.
it to deny next turn.
So Alyx has actually got 2 head markers under his models. He's got
He does at the minute.
one under Nikima and one under the Wallgeist now.
It's got their heads up their asses.
So Matt's still got the Witch and Stalker as well. It's just hiding behind the wall, and he's
Yep.
got his Thrall. So he's got 2 models left.
He has 2 and there's 3 models at least left on Zoraida's side.
Yeah, I think it is just the 3 of K,
AKK, yeah, that little line of models
Zoraida.
unactivated.
Sorry?
The little line of models that have not
Yeah.
activated yet.
Maybe they'll come out in deployment. What do we have left? So eliminate's
Eliminate's
either
always a
haven't
possibility.
gone for each other's masters yet. An escapable trap. Alyx has one scheme marker up in the
Public
middle,
demonstration.
so yeah.
Like, they might still have public demonstration,
Yeah, escapable doesn't.
but there's not many minions left.
No, on either side. Well, they say that there's one big minion in the
There is
brawl.
indeed.
Ball.
But I feel if you had public demo, we maybe wouldn't just be like firing into Nikima like this right now. Maybe trying to keep her alive. Which risky business trying to do public demo on
It is.
Nikima.
It is.
Just trying to lure a massive blender towards yourself to show them something and hope they don't kill you.
So charging over his fires again. This gets him positive twists on his attacks for being nearby Lucius and her minion.
Yeah, so big flips. This looks like Nikima's on 12. It's straight right now. Nikima does have a lot of wounds and is a soulstone user, so is somewhat durable. But could be a bunch of
She could survive if he spends his stones on it.
I feel like neither have seen the Black Joker this game either, actually, so
Don't remember it.
yep, so Alyx is choosing that he wants to sink some resources into you. So he prevents 2, so he just takes 1. Yeah, lucky. I say lucky. Just Matt making sure he's out of Black Blood's distance as well, so no unnecessary damage being dealt. Just looked up and Kai looks like the saddest boy playing Malifaux right now. Sorry, I just saw.
I did warn him yesterday. He really enjoyed his gate day at Malifaux yesterday, so he knew he was going to have a
He's due
miserable
for
day
it,
today.
This one R3. Alyx choose to negate some of this, or do you think he can just tank it? If I was him, I'd
I think
probably
he's just
be
going
up
to take it
tank
with only the stalker left.
Yeah.
Nikima can heal herself
Yeah, I
back
was going
up.
to say because Nikima herself can also heal.
Oh, no, he's done.
Yeah. It looks like he's
Doesn't
got
want
some
to risk the
stones to
initiative.
spare, yeah. Yeah, wow, yeah. So Nikima, maybe about a third of her wounds been taken off right now, but she's still looking pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, healthy Nikima is a happy Nikima, that's for sure. Yeah.
How many negs have we got?
So it looks like Alyx has 2 stones left. I don't know about Matt, how many he's got himself.
I think he's got one.
Oh, okay.
He spent one. He debated for the initiative because it was important, and he did spend it.
So this is Cade.
Yeah.
So maybe Cade's walking twice.
So he's taking a double walk, possibly to get a charge in.
So take him just past that little
Yes.
pillar in the middle of the map. Just get the measurement right.
So are we going for Lucius here, do you think?
Interesting to tell,
Could be his
yeah.
eliminate.
Sorry?
If he didn't realise how difficult Lucius is to kill, he could have taken an eliminate.
Yeah. Yeah. This is kind of somewhat just like setting the net, and this could be it trying to close in for turn 3. I think even if I had taken eliminate and I was in Alyx's position, I'd be very tempted just to try and remove that thrall and just take that last big beater away from
Yeah.
Lucius, and I feel that then it would be a lot easier because you might feel a bit more uncontested. You've done such a good job already dealing with Frank and the Executioner. Yeah, they've got an hour to go.
We've got an hour to go.
You know,
It is only turn 2, but
I feel like he's got the time to remove the thrall and
Yes.
then start trying to lay into Lucius.
yeah. I mean, this is the slowest 2 turns of the game generally. So
Yeah, you can't help but get a bit quicker with less models on the board.
yeah.
And certainly when they both kind of realise each other's schemes, they might go a bit quicker as well.
There's less things to play around.
Yeah. So I think Alyx is trying to think of something to hem this turn potentially.
Possibly wants to go for a hem.
Yep. So still got a good go. Saw how successful it was with the Queller. Does look like he's possibly got eliminate. It's interesting because like Lucius, I feel the best thing you can do to counter him is just to remove his crew.
I think, yeah. I do feel like he might have taken eliminate leadership without realising
How difficult
it is to get rid of
Lucius.
Lucius.
Yeah. Especially Lucius with a Thrall stand right next to him.
Yeah. So Matt's lost.
That's lost.
No, so it's turn 2.
Yeah.
Matt's lost Frank and the Executioner
I see. And the Queller, right?
and the
Yep.
Queller.
Fuck. Sorry, is this a no swear?
No,
you're
swear
sorry.
away.
Fuck! Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Looking
Ben's
good
back.
for Alyx,
Hey,
then.
Ben.
So it's looking good for Alyx. I think
Yeah.
that Matt's definitely got.
Take their graves.
I think he's got Dig Graves,
Yeah.
and I don't know whether he has public demonstration that's gone kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like Matt.
You don't think he takes public demonstration?
No, I don't
Okay.
think he does.
Eliminate is against his eyes is going to be tough as well, so I don't know about eliminate.
What else is in the pool?
So the pool is eliminate, dig, an escapable trap, take one for the team, or public demonstration.
Oh, fucking hell, is that Ben?
Yeah, Ben says
Ben's
here.
back
Hey,
in
Ben, where are you?
He'll be in full.
He didn't want to come here because he's not part of the game.
Matt would take dig their graves and eliminate.
Yeah,
Eliminate
you think
against
eliminate?
Zeraida's
tough.
Yeah,
Zeraida's yet to
is
take a
tough
walk
'cause-
action.
Is she? Blimey.
She's not left in
I don't
deployment
know,
either.
is he playing Nelly or Lucius?
Lucius.
Lucius.
Yeah.
Or maybe he wouldn't go for him. That's a really
So
tough
he's-
call.
We'll also point that Cage just made a
He
charge.
charged Cade in. Yeah.
He might go for an escapable trap too. I don't know. What's the score?
It's currently turn 2. It will be 1-all because they both got a head
strategy.
marker.
Yeah.
It
looks
depends
like-
whether this is an inescapable trap marker or a
That's a
Dig
really
Graves
tough
marker.
call.
Alex looks like he's also got Dig Their Graves. It's kind of just abandoned, like because you can't get the ski markers down. But it does look like he's got
You know
eliminate as
what?
well.
Apologies to some nerds fighting nearby.
Yeah.
Magic Gathering players.
Ben's one though.
So yeah. Oh well.
So the Thrall just took a bunch of damage with the Cage on the first attack.
Yeah, so Cade's
But Red Joker
Took a
saved him
big
the
chunk of
second
that
time, so it's an interesting game. The Kima and the Wall Guys are also both standing on head markers right now, so Alex has got that kind of
heads
mopped
under
up.
their bases.
Yeah.
Wow. He looks like in a really strong position then.
Yeah,
As someone
he's-
coming from outside.
He's playing a good game.
I've just been playing some other side with Dave Brown. Really, really good fun.
Yeah.
Really good fun. Yeah. Right.
This
I'll
stuff
leave, you,
looks nice.
I'll leave you boys to it.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for the insider knowledge, mate. I know some of Matt's schemes there.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. I reckon that's what he's probably doing. Because he's got Fiona in that list, yeah?
No?
No?
Why is he not taking Fiona?
I think he took a very teched list to try and take. So he took
took
a
a
Witchling
Queller.
Stalker to remove conditions, to remove the hem.
Yep.
He took a Queller to remove suits from Obey.
Yep.
And he took
Rage Quit. It's a Rage
the
Quit.
Numb to the World on Frank.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether he went a little bit too all in on trying to counter Zoraida.
Yeah. It sounds like he's.
I think he talked to Lewis Phillips a bit too much after he just lost to this guy. So
That just took literally what Lewis did, right?
it didn't
Just
work
not
for me,
nail it,
so it
yeah.
might work for you.
Well, no. If it didn't work for the guild number 1, it won't work for the guild number 2, eh? Right. See you later, all.
See you, man.
Goodbye,
See you later.
internet.
So Iggy's just ran into the middle,
Yeah, looks like he's
trying
setting
to
up.
get an insight.
So this is the end of the turn. After all that, Headhunter's been scored. And neither
Nothing
schemes.
else revealed?
Yeah, it doesn't really anyone else's really. So it's 1-1.
We do think it's Dig Graves for both players, and possibly eliminate for both players as well.
Yeah, it could be. Which Matt's crew is nowhere near Alyx's master, so Zoraida way back in his deployment.
Yeah.
But Alyx has a bunch of his crew around Matt's, so
Yeah.
Could be interesting. Take one for the team, you know, you can never write that one out either.
So I think that the Waldegeist is actually fairly resilient against what's left here now. The armor 2 means that it's going to take a lot of hits
From the thrall, yeah.
The thrall's a 1-2-3 against it, essentially.
Yeah, because it really neuters its damage track.
Yeah.
And the guys have still got 50 minutes, and they're just going into turn 2.
Yes.
And it's one each.
It's one each at the minute. So again, they do need to. Ideally, they will play a little bit faster, but they will go faster. They've had a lot of important decisions.
Yeah. You know, if there's ever going to be a time to kind of sit back and take an extra minute to think about your plays, would be the semi-finals of Masters.
Yes.
So, you know, can't blame either player for just taking their time, thinking through twice, 3 times their line of play, because it is important. Because, you know, both these guys are great players, so, you know, if someone's going to make a mistake, they're going to capitalise on it.
So you don't know Alyx Ben because he's from the north, and you don't play Malifaux anymore. And yes, Josh versus Ollie is the other one.
Yeah, we just have no updates on the Josh Ollie game. But it's also probably an absolute cracking game, but we've had Ollie on twice already and Josh on once, so
We decided to give Ollie a little break.
yeah, watch Matt and Alyx here. And potentially don't know who Alyx has been because you've not played Malifaux in a long time.
And because Alyx is from up north.
Oh, is he another?
It's like, I'm back in the game, let's win.
Good humour though. I know people from the north. That's true, you know us.
He's manipulative, isn't he?
So that's initiative for Matt.
Yeah, it looks like Alyx is letting him have it.
So I believe Cade has got a lowish willpower, but he's defense 7, so he will be discarding the cards if he hits him. And then again, defense 7 versus melee 6 with a positive. Positive's practically +1, isn't it? Right, Ben?
Yeah, it could happen if he feels Cade's the biggest threat in this situation.
He's also right up in his face.
That's very true. I guess that might be true again. I've spoken to a couple of events and I recognise his face for sure. More than certain he was at the side event last year actually. I might be wrong with that. It was in Nationals, something. I recognise faces. So Lucius is going to go.
Discard a card. Zero action games.
So he's doing the interact.
Place a ski mark.
Yeah, definitely got his dig on.
Yep, so this is going to be Cade.
So manipulative passes.
Maybe cool, but once you've seen it a billion times, it gets it gets a pain. So yep, Cade's a little tank.
It's like he dodges, but then he gets hit.
So many wounds Cade's got again?
6 wounds. So if you hit him, he's dead.
So 2 weeks before World Out.
I was going to play it here.
So Lucia still has 2 AP left.
Yeah.
You'll have to be careful of pushing the thrall to get attacks because of pounce on Cade.
Oh, okay, cool. Tough spot from that, but
Definitely.
he's just playing a tight game right now with Saraido, so he's gonna have to use. Even the Wallgeist isn't that appetising for the thrall.
So I think that the Waldgeist will, if he hits the Waldgeist, he's willpower less than 5, so he will be discarding cards out of Zoraida's hand, which is always beneficial. Alyx certainly looks in a favourable position at the minute, so.
But certainly not going to write Matt off. He's a good player.
Yeah, if anyone can come back from this, it'll be Matt.
Not Lou, as we've already found out.
Yeah.
So passes.
It's unfortunate.
Here, Matt's a bit stumped here. He's not
Yeah.
quite sure to do some good flips from Alyx. Has really put him on the back foot. Unfortunately, Ben, we're going to have to agree with you on that one. I've never seen such true words on the internet.
Right. He will.
I must admit, I'm very excited to see how this game pans out at the end.
Issue a command to this guy. Yep.
We're all staying outside of the pounce range.
Also kind of just stops Nakima from picking up a head.
It
You know,
does.
some people might think it's a waste of action for Nakima spending AP to pick up a head, but when the games are this close, you know,
Every little helps.
absolutely. And like Matt's going, it looks like could struggle to score a head marker this turn, so just try and, you know, mop up those points. It's an easy point, you know. Alyx right now isn't actually that short of punching power, to be honest, so you can kind of spend an AP off Nakima just to pick up a head and another AP to move over and then attack from Melee Expert, and then you've got Zoraida to obey later on as well, so VP's VP, you're absolutely right, Ben.
You won. So Ollie won his game undefeated so far this weekend. So that's his first win against Josh as well. So
A happy man goes
Yeah.
by.
that
So
means
Ollie will be on the
it's-
camera for a third time this
Ollie's
week,
going to be back
actually.
next
Yeah,
round in the
yeah.
final against whoever wins this. So far, Alyx is also undefeated. So if it's Alyx versus Ollie, it'll be two players who've just won every game until the finals.
Nice.
It'll be a very, very interesting match.
Okay,
I'm
so
hoping Alyx brings back out the Crossroad 7 for the finals.
Yeah, that'd be so good. But Josh though, yeah. Poor Josh. He was in really well as well. I was looking forward to seeing some more of these Thunders. Yeah, last AP there was
Alyx
the
was waiting
promise.
for Matt to finish, but
Yeah.
he's already finished his.
So it looks like he's going to Nakima.
Nakima's going for a reprisal.
Yep, so Melee Expert. So the throw would have healed actually against Nakima, if I'm right in saying, when he punched.
Yes.
So managed to heal a little bit against Baby Cade. Thralls don't have anything like hard to kill or hard to win. Like
got
they are in the
impossible
end of the
to
day, are they
They have
impossible?
impossible to win, but 2
Yes.
weeks does kill it. 8 wins
Yeah.
left.
They're just very good minions.
Yes.
Hard to believe sometimes that they are in fact minions, but they're. So I feel like if Alyx has the cards in hand at this point, he will. Even though we do believe he has eliminated leadership, you know, getting rid of this Thrall.
Oh, 2 surveyors, that's 7. Oh, 6.
Speared on double necks 3 times in a row.
If it's got, if anything's got to tilt you, it will be double severe in the next. But
19 on the attack.
Yeah. It's like a dead Thrall, and he will have 1 AP left as well.
Yep. So the current score is a draw, but
One each. Yeah.
it's 1 each from the strategy. We believe that the
There's no
both
schemes to be
players,
revealed.
no schemes have been revealed, but it's looking like they both have Diggler Graves. Alyx has now just killed the 3rd beta from the Lucius crew, so it's definitely looking good for him. And now he's got his 2nd head.
Yeah, so it's currently 2-1 with Alyx. So I agree with this. I think this is a good play by Alyx. Just get those heads markers picked up, score some points, get ahead on the boards. The way that Alyx has been playing as well, it looks like he might have eliminated leadership on Lucius. Could be
Yes.
very difficult for him, but he's mopping up Matt's board. It's okay. Alyx has forgotten a couple of triggers and abilities this game, but you know, he's still in a good position.
Well, he did manage to win 10-4 against Jamie Varney
Jamie
yesterday
Varney,
with
yeah.
Crossroad 7. So You definitely must know how to play them.
That's why we're excited to see it. You know, you beat Jamie Varney at Crossroad 7. Let's take it to the Masters finals. Why not? I'll be impressed. A lot of support for Alyx in the chat right now.
Yep.
Poor Matt.
Well, all Matt's friends are here.
That's true, yeah. You need to jump on. So Matt's left with the Scribe and
Investigator this
Guild
time.
Investigator and the Witchling Stalker. That's
yeah, the Stalker's not
all he's
being
got
this
for
time, so.
the rest of his activation, because Lucius has been. He didn't get the activation out of the Thrall before Nikima cut him up. And obviously Alyx has still got a bunch of models to go. Wallgeist, Cades, Gups, Iggy, the Puppet and the Rider herself all still to activate. Another scheme marker, so trying to set for more decks.
I think he's just doing it to push his models around as well.
Yeah, put the belt in. He might be trying to just sneakily get in there and pick up a head as well, just to score another point, but
So
at this point I feel time is more on Matt's side, and Alyx probably wants to try and get through.
So they
these
have
turns
half an hour
quicker.
left.
This time will get called up 3, so maybe got 40 minutes at the most. So yeah, I feel like Alyx will probably want to try and get through this turn a bit quicker than he can, to get onto at least, because this is only turn 3, to get onto a turn 4 to try and pick up another head that he's probably able to secure. And but at the end of the day,
finish this turn. There's only 2 activations left on that side, so this one will finish.
You know, at the end of the day, even if Alyx wins by 1, it's all he needs to get himself into the finals. So Aspasell's organised chaos. Well, his organised chaos has paid off so far.
This is the Investigators being nonsense.
Yep. So it's just trying. This is
He's a cheeky boy.
not wanting to get into it against melee. And stay out of Nikima's.
He does have he has the burning attack, but he also has his upgrade just gives him a straight up 2/3/4 attack, and it's a 0 cost upgrade. So
And I think he's got into
Back in the day, Joe, Ben. Masters last year.
I miss wind cannon.
Some nerfs are harder than ours.
Is Iggy looking around? Just walking over next to some
Yeah, he
head
just wants to
markers?
secure the heads, makes sense. Just stop Matt from scoring this turn. I like this play, you know, just try and deny Matt as much as possible. He knows he's going to struggle to get it. He's going to struggle to kill the model off the head marker and secure it at the same time.
The Rider's still got a lot of options left as well.
Yeah.
With the activation he's got now, Inescapable Trap probably wouldn't be too hard for Alyx if he did take that.
I feel like now you can start using activations like Gups, to these Gups to go and place down some scheme markers next to models like the Scribe to start scoring Dig Their Graves. If that is one of his scheme markers as well, it'll be an easier one.
So the Witchling's coming in on the Kima. They're actually fairly killy for their cost.
Yeah, they're cheap dudes, but they can certainly dish it out, and the condition removal as well is nice.
So they only have a 1-inch attack though.
Meaning Black Blood from the Kima will splash back.
Yeah.
What's the damage?
So they're only a 1-inch, so they will be getting splashed by this.
So it looks like attack's going through. The Kima's getting stabbed by a little Witch and Stalker.
2 damage. Getting burning 1.
Alyx still has a stone left, I believe, so yeah, I feel like he's in a position where he needs to use it right now. But it's worth noticing.
Yes, I think he just marked his black blood there.
Yeah. Oh, there's a red joker. Saying that Nakima's definitely gone over the half wound.
off,
Yeah, the fresh wound.
She has 5 wounds left.
Is it 5 severe for Witchling Stalker? Saying that one soulstone left is very relevant.
Yeah. But then burning as well.
True, yeah, because you got burning 1 off the first attack.
So 9 to 20. So positive. That is
3. If he has a severe, he's going to use it.
Yeah.
5 damage.
So
Yeah.
he has a stone, but he's using it. He needs to flip a severe here. Oh, she's dead at the end of the turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an extra point of damage when she does die from the burning.
Yeah, sure. I didn't I did say 5 damage.
So
Just me missing. I was like, I've got to get
Stalker's down to 4 wounds left then. Thanks
Yes,
to
it will be
the
3 when
doses of black bugs, yeah. And 3 when Nakima dies.
people alive, and I wasn't going to
Okay, so he didn't risk. He wasn't trying to risk as much as we thought he was.
Me, I have a strike because strike is locked.
So Alyx has still got a lot of models here. Maybe wants to can. Yeah, which I think is to try to use the rider here.
She's going to actually walk action.
Wow, out of deployment for the first time. Obey Nakima, yeah. And I feel with Alyx having more activations here, that maybe if he does hub Dig the Graves to kind of just set up a bit for this, because if you're going to use the rider to obey Nakima, like chances are he's going to kill this.
No, sure, mate. I'll let you have that.
Oh no, so he is within 3 of one of his game markers. Cool.
So we were correct to do Haptic.
Yeah. I didn't think anywhere in range, but I was mistaken. So yeah, no. This is good. So both players scoring Dig. So everyone just explodes. Matt's super happy that Nakima's finally gone down to a Witchling Stalker of all things.
Yes.
One player's dropping a head. The important thing here as well is that that's a head dropped very close to Matt's crew.
You can because
He's got a scribe as well to.
The scribe is still available, so the scribe could get ahead.
And Lucius did put up the aura, right, to put basically Cyril Don't Mind Me on his models as well. So
She has an AP left though.
cheeky evade from the back end. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's a long, hard
So Nakima isn't there anymore.
what was that? Sorry?
Nakima isn't there anymore.
No, Nakima's gone.
Neither is the Witchling Thrall. They will move them in a bit.
She's doing so well.
You tiny man with a...
It's actually
I was pulling him to legends.
Yeah, I remember. So, also to note that we're approaching a half an hour remaining.
They're still dropping corpse markers, and I don't think they need them in. Oh, the investigator does push models with them.
And can also draw cards with them. So both score digs. Alyx is up for 1 with the head marker, but Matt's going to try his hardest here to get this.
Matt has 1 AP left. Alyx has 1 AP left to deny the scribe from scoring.
just get one of them.
And we presume Alyx has got Eliminate on Lucius, but Matt's George was thinking Eliminate as well, so
Yes.
could end up being a mirrored game.
He is out of.
So he's thinking about using Zoraida to obey him to simply walk away so he can't pick up markers.
If he gets the charge trigger, he could charge him away onto his own model.
Stops the point, doesn't it? Stops the point. Stops the point this turn.
Yep.
So
So I think Alyx is just consolidating more his win here by denying that.
yeah.
It can't be. Yeah.
He was hit, was he?
It's not that way.
So both players are happy that he can't walk up and pick up.
They measured
the start.
beforehand, so
Yeah.
That's what I'm aware.
Is there any shenanigans that I don't know?
And then you don't know, mate, on Flippin Wyrds.
I generally always assume that my opponent knows shenanigans about
Swing the left.
So he's got Wall Guys, Cades,
Guts.
Gups, the Doll. a bit, yeah. Still a bit, yeah. So I feel like we might just see Wallgeist and Cades lay into Lucius, although does Lucius not have any abilities to kind of push himself away?
Lucius has been this turn.
Yeah, true. So Matt still has cards in hand, so can't put more negatives.
Yes.
And I feel like if he's kind of
Wallgeist don't
sniffed
hit
out
hard
that he
either.
might, if he's sniffed that he's maybe got eliminated leadership, he might be very conscious to hold on to cards for that. It's Tierra Lewis in the back.
So getting ready for next turn.
Yeah. Might even just use the gups to kind of drop down another scheme marker nearby so they can try and score again and dig their graves for if they get into a turn 4.
So Cade might just remove the. He just needs to win.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Easy
need
as
to get
that.
a big win.
Just need to win.
No, I mean like
Just win.
usually you would think about trying to maximise
Score
your
as many points as possible, yeah. It's been probably just more on the dying
He
stage.
does have to be careful that he doesn't give away take one for the team, but it doesn't seem like that's one of the schemes that's been taken. It is one of the only ways that he could lose now, I think.
So that was the Viridol trying to hang there. I think it was maybe the investigator. So maybe even just be worth just moving the gups down to try and stand on top of head markers.
Either move down to stand on the heads or
This is a scheme marker.
to play scheme markers, as you said, for dig.
Cade will go. He'll focus and attack.
So he does have eliminate
focus.
with it, I think.
Yep.
Oh, good hit.
And,
Oh, red
it
joker.
looked like Matt did discard to make him go back down to a negative, so it's just a straight. But yep,
Wallgeist will.
Focus and punch again.
yeah, might just be the plays. Yep, so discard again. So he's on a straight.
Straight flip for the attack, positive for the damage if it hits.
Let's try to see what monstrous damage tracker Wallgeist has. Doesn't hit. Needs a mask.
Doesn't
Leap.
leap.
He's gonna have to walk the old-fashioned way like everyone else.
I think he's looking at his hand, but
This marking for this guy.
Lending cards is pseudo success. Yeah, you can see you helped in his Masters run.
3, 2.
Yeah, so the score is currently, as it would stands at the end of the turn, will be 3 to Alyx, 2 to Matt. Alyx with strategy twice, 1 for dig. Matt 1 for the strategy, 1 for dig.
yes.
So super close game again.
I do think that Alyx is in more control of the game.
Yeah, a lot more models, so a lot more activation.
So again, he's just doing his favourite tactic of standing on top of heads.
Yeah, it's worked for him so far this
It
game.
has,
So
it
why
has.
change? You know, why change? So Walgeist is on top of a head, Gups is on top of a head, Eggy's on top of a head, and the Scribe's on the next head.
Oops, he has got inescapable trap.
Played it like a fucking crock. It's underneath the
Nice.
He was in base contact with a pair of them. Just pulled it out.
So that's 3 points there.
Wow. So Matt did score inescapable trap, so it wasn't
Yeah.
eliminated. That George assumed.
2 heads and a scheme to me.
So if they get another turn in, Alyx is alright, but I think that Matt might win this on time.
You can see the
Unfortunately.
game was really going my way, wasn't it? Like, and
Like, it's not. I'm not in a great place. Let's be honest. As places go, I've had better ones.
So I think that he's got eliminate on Lucius.
Yep.
I'm not sure whether. I think they're getting another turn. Yeah, they are. So if he can get in below half wins, he gets another point there. If he can get another point for the strategy, he gets another point there.
How many points did Matt score for?
So he gets. I think he had 3 for that.
Did he get all 3 of the
So
points?
it's currently 5-3 for Matt.
Yep.
If,
so
if Alyx scores
needs
2,
to
I
score,
think that he
if
draws
can,
and goes through.
If Alyx can score for Headhunter, so scores for strategy this turn,
Yep.
and then scores another one for Dig, would put him on 5 apiece.
Yes.
If he can deny Head and he can deny Dig,
I agree as well. I hope it doesn't go down to the clock, especially since they're now just starting turn 4.
yeah.
If they don't finish turn 4, then it's going to be very unfortunate. But
Yeah, I said like maybe a turn ago that it seemed that time was more on Matt's side than for Alyx. As I feel like
no stones for playing.
Alyx would benefit a lot more for this going to full 5 turns. But
a 1 to the
it is
red
what it
joker.
is, you know.
After you, good sir.
Nice.
So this means that Matt's going to get a point for the strategy
Yeah,
here,
so he gets to go with the Scribe and pick up a head.
or with Lucius to make him pick up the
Pick
head.
up a head, yeah, if that's what he wants to go for.
It's got to be Lucius, isn't it? So Lucius.
So then Matt will go to 6 and then Alyx is on 3. And he's going to really struggle to try and put in a lot of damage onto Lucius if it is eliminated.
Can I pick up the card?
So if Alyx manages to pick up a head, score a point for Dig, and drop Lucius to half wins this turn,
Yeah, that's all.
he'll go to 6 apiece. And then Alyx would go
Very, very
through
close.
with
I think he goes through on Diffie on a draw, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
So again, Matt, not with a lot of models, but it's really making them count and trying to squeeze as much points as he can out of those. So we've probably got about just over 20 minutes left of this game. as well.
I think they said they were playing until 10 to us. I think they've got
Really?
13
So
minutes
you may
left.
even have 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
So 20 at the absolute max, but 10 is more likely. So it's going to be a tall order for 10 minutes for Alyx to be able to pick up a head, score for Dig, and score eliminate. Well, a point for eliminate.
No, limited models, but it means I have to make the plays.
So to make the most out of it.
I guess one of the other ones we've not discussed, like possibility-wise, is maybe Alyx doesn't have eliminate. Maybe he does have something like take
He
one
might
for
have
a
something
team.
else,
He
yeah.
could, and you know,
We're just assuming he's got eliminate.
yeah, and you know, Matt goes for a Dig point and somehow eliminates one of Alyx's
Yep.
take one for a team models, and all of a sudden that's 3 points for Alyx potentially, and this is back to being a really close game. So Matt's got to think, because he does have one scheme unrevealed of like what could Alyx have, and has to play around these. So maybe it's just worth him trying not to score that extra point for Diggs, just score his headhunter point and just try and squeak out the win that way, and possibly just try and deny as well.
Yeah, so Matt just needs to try and deny any more points from Alyx.
Yeah.
He wants to score points.
So now you probably try and kill the investigator as efficiently as possible with a scheme marker by. and then I guess just try and tank as much as he can into.
He doesn't have a lot of
Lucius,
killing
but
power left
yeah,
on.
maybe the best one to
Mat's
even
side.
to try and put in the damage is possibly Iggy.
Cage
Maybe.
is definitely the hittier person.
Yeah.
Zero action guild intelligence. Issue of commands to the scribe. Needs 5. Goes off. He will
Interact and push away.
trigger to push after every effect. He'll pick up his head. And then he'll push like so.
So push this guy forward into Iggy.
So that should trigger pounce, but I think that Alyx has probably forgot about that.
Yeah, on Cade.
Oh, if it's an escapable trap, that is only 1 point. Yeah, sorry, that is that's our lack of Malifaux 2nd edition coming into play there. So if that's the case, then Mat's only on 4 points. Now 5 would be. No, so it was only on 2, wasn't it? at the
So it
start?
was 3-2, but an inescapable trap was scored, so it should be a 3 apiece.
I'm just checking.
And you're right, he did only remove 1 bar, and that's why I was confused. I thought I wasn't sure if it was
confused with
DDP.
that.
Yeah.
So place the ski
Yes.
marker and face contact himself.
Inescapable trap.
It means that this game's a hell of a lot closer then.
He then puts himself
Because
in base contact.
it should be right now that both these guys.
Yes,
well,
he has only got 1 point for that.
Matt
you are
has
correct.
only picked up 1 head, so currently, as it stands, Matt's in the lead by 1 because he's picked up a head marker. It means
At
that
the end of the turn, he
Alyx-
will be ahead by 1.
Yeah,
Yes.
Alyx himself, if he manages to pick up a head and score another point for Dig.
Yes.
So I think if I was in Alex's position, I'd probably just give up on trying to get Lucius down on half wounds if I have got eliminated.
No, so
leadership, or-
that was me misunderstanding. It is definitely an escapable trap in the scheme pool, so he has only
it's
scored
not
1
so.
point there. Apologies for the confusion.
Unfortunately, we're now going to have to rotate Joe out for the final game for that mistake, and we're going to have to bring in someone else.
Someone who actually understands.
Yeah, please
gaining
vote
grounds
below who
18.
would you like to replace Joe in the final game.
So that means that, as it currently stands,
It's an incredibly close game.
Matt has 1 point for the strategy and 1 point for each of his schemes.
Well, he's also picked up a second head, so
He
he's
will
got 2
get
of his
another
games,
point
yeah.
for the strategy at the end of this turn. So that would mean that he's going to end this turn on 4 points
Yep.
at the minute.
And Alyx
Might
is
get
on
more.
3.
Alex is currently on 3,
But Alyx is also currently standing on a bunch of heads.
but he's also engaged with all those
Yeah.
models.
But Zoraida's pretty good at unengaging models.
Yeah. There's also a head up at the top that can be.
Get a look in the fury.
We said someone who knows gaining grounds. This is doing a 1 point to the. Whoop.
Hang on. It's still a red joker. I'll flip next draw, I'm going to shuffle my deck. So, how much is that?
So Wargeist takes 4. It's a big yikes.
So the card that was flipped earlier wasn't the red joker, it was the 13 of Rams.
Ah, okay, cool.
Is that?
Okay, that's Lucius activation finished.
Yeah, so again, clock. At the most, they have about 80 minutes, maybe about 8, so.
These are crucial questions.
Shush.
The great comeback of shut up. Sometimes Joe forgets how to play.
You can't lose if you don't play.
So Alex has got to try and figure out how he wants to score his points here.
He needs 1 point,
Yeah.
I believe. And to not have an escapable trap scored again.
Yeah, because that's the thing is he's also got scheme markers around him. As you can see right now, it's just behind the Guild
So where are the
Investigator.
heads? There's one under Iggy.
So there's one under Iggy, there's one under the gut, there's one
Wargeist.
under the Wargeist as well. So there's 3 heads currently just being covered by Alex's models.
And it's Lucius next to the guts, which is harder to disengage from.
Yeah, your face. Oh,
Get
sick
wrecked.
words from Ben. Yeah, he's thoroughly wrecked.
We're using Joe's really awesome deck holders.
I didn't make them.
Shout out to Kai for printing them.
So Lucius is only a 1 inch melee. I would lead with the gut to disengage and get ahead.
Fair enough.
But Iggy's just going to do some killing instead.
Well, the gut could leap, pick up a head, and drop a scheme marker.
Yep.
And then, you know, Scribe's probably the easiest set of targets in that lot to kill off.
13.
What defense is it?
Is this Cade trying
This is Cade
to...
with his Sweet Buds trigger here.
Slow plus 2 damage.
It's a good trigger.
It's 1, 2, 4. Because you're engaged with someone else, it's actually 3, 4, 6.
No. So it's minimum 5.
It's 5, 6, 8 with the trigger.
It's basically like a Blood's damage track here.
That's
Always on.
just disgusting.
Okay.
Because if he kills this model, 15 minutes left.
Yeah,
Okay, so
cool.
they are playing right the way through to
Yeah,
3.
so there are. Cool. That's good, because
So he
he
kills
kills
him?
him 10 more minutes.
You think?
So,
It's Cade's first AP.
Alex missed my first step.
Oh, yes. Cade's second AP. He's not buggering it.
Corpse marker
So this was into the Scribe or was it into the Investigator? Sorry.
first.
I think this was the investigator.
Investigator, right. So the Investigator goes down.
Matt covering up his scheme markers again. But
I would say so. I wasn't so sure. Like, sure. Yeah.
so when he dies, places the corpse marker, which triggers the investigator, even though he's dying.
Right. But the Investigator also drops a head?
Yes. So the older guys can now.
But did they drop a head for the Investigator? Was that what was dropped on top of the
Oh no! So
scheme
they've got to
marker?
place the head.
Yes, so they've
Sorry,
not
just
placed-
leave it for a bit. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
They're remembering now.
Yeah, so there's a head marker.
It was red. He rubbed it.
So Zoraida might even be able to walk over and get that herself if
Yeah.
needed. I think that the best option though is the gut leaping, picking up the head and interacting to place a scheme marker for killing the scribe.
Or what you could do is also use the gut to... no, because you won't have the range. I was thinking about trying to remove the scheme marker that's also down next to Baby Cade for an escapable trap. That
Right. Last one on the table.
You have one model left, Matt. It's easy to choose.
yeah.
Take a swing at the Geist. Yeah, take a swing at the Geist.
So I think he's aiming for the red tape trigger here to put him on negatives to his.
It's dizzying heights.
The Wallgeist is on what, 2 wins left? It did
I'm
get
not
a
sure.
massive hit
Oh,
from that red
took the
Joker.
red Joker,
Yeah. So, even though the armor 2 did come in to save a bit of damage, it did still take a massive
The
chunk.
18 there, flipping straight off the top to save him.
I'm on 14.
So again, as it stands, he just needs to score for... We believe if he picks up a head, that Alyx goes through because of
tiebreakers.
Because of tiebreakers. But if he was able to get down a scheme marker before he killed off something like the Investigator, he could just secure this by being 5-4. Because the other problem is the escapable trap, so technically Matt is also
Yeah, he needs
scoring
to
one,
move models
he's going to
away.
score 2 at the end, so Matt could win in this 5-3, even if he picks up a head and it's 5-4. So Alyx has got a lot to think about, and I don't know if he's maybe remembering that there is one of the scheme markers there that Matt has got.
I think
there.
he'll remember the scheme marker there.
Yeah.
How's this looking?
So-
Mind if I join in?
No, you can
Super
join in,
close,
that's fine.
yeah,
so
yeah.
Matt scored 1 point for an escapable trap and has picked up another head marker.
Yep, for a start.
But he only has Lucius and the scribe left.
Who have both gone.
He'll leap with this.
So at the minute he's winning by a point, but this
so the
this
gut
gut's
is
picking
open.
up ahead, so it's going to be a draw now from this.
Yeah. No, he's doing the play now that we were thinking. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is the play that we were going for.
And now he's going for an escapable trap.
I think this is going to be a dig the graves on the scribe.
Yeah.
Scribe is a minion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Used to be a peon.
Yep.
Yes.
Huh.
But if the problem is doing this leaves him within an escapable trap range. To get another point for that.
So Matt would score in this game.
Yeah. But then I think that keeps it at a draw still, which
Yeah.
is Alyx going through, I believe.
Is it? Matt got a big win against me. He won by
Alyx
6
hasn't
points.
lost, has he?
He lost to.
Did he? I thought he was undefeated. I think he might have
I
had
think he lost to Luke. No, did he play Luke? I don't know.
He was in
Hello
Jamie's
again, Ben.
So yeah, this is super close game.
It's one of the games where it's just hoping it doesn't go down to time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we've got
10
10
minutes
minutes.
left.
Last call's been called, I think.
Last turn.
But they gave him 15 minutes earlier.
Okay.
Dave's. Alex has not lost. Blimey,
Yeah.
that's incredible to come from. Well, he wasn't top 16, was
It's
he?
a dark
Or was
horse,
he just
so-
16?
I'm not sure.
I think he might have been 17 or 18. So that's incredible to come from there to make it to the final if he does.
Yeah, he's playing really well.
No, yeah, sorry, I'm on 12. So you were 17.
Very tense.
It's going to die. What you dig?
So the scribe does die here, and he does go for
He
die.
does get the dig.
So now he's
When the
got
scribe
to-
dies, something happens, is it?
Iggy's turn. He will.
Does it not make you take a test or die? When you kill the scribe? Or am I thinking of something else? That's
You've
the
got
governor's
the app,
proxy, aren't I?
Yeah,
the wrong
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you think yes.
Yeah, he snuck in at.
Snuck in at 17.
Wow.
Nice. Not bad for sneaking in.
He
at
was
all.
saying yesterday he didn't feel like he belonged here, and
Yeah,
He's
yes,
certainly proven that he
I had a
does,
chat with him
that's for
about
sure.
that. He definitely does.
definitely showing that he does. So
We're hoping for Crossroad 7 in the final, though. So
Oh my god, yes.
yeah, so
That
second
would
AP
be
is
Yeah, it'd be
the send off
awesome.
M2E deserves. Crossroad 7 winning.
So it looks like Iggy's. Oh no, I thought he was going to maybe move out to try and pick up the marker for.
So he's already got all for an escape. Oh yeah, to walk over
to
here
go
and
and pick up the
interact
scheme
that.
marker down there. Yeah, but it looks like he's going to maybe try and knock
think,
down.
yeah, he possibly forgot
Lucian's,
that.
but
Where's
yeah,
that scheme marker?
That's down
Covered
below
by
Kate.
a
Yeah.
corpse marker. That's what the white thing is.
Oh, here comes the laser checker. Yeah.
So this is checking. Oh, he's
Who's
going
he
to
got
obey
left to
the
go?
Walder guys to walk. So the rider's still not being. So you can avoid the inescapable trap.
If he's got the cards to hit the target number, it doesn't
hope
look
so.
much Joker, it should be fine. Oh, he's got to cheat that.
Oh, and he's just top decking it.
Oh, blimey.
Try it again. Nope. You get the point.
So this could come down to breakers.
That looks like. Was that 3 failed evades?
That was 3 failed evades.
Yeah.
Oh! But then, yeah, I think.
Because it was
would
only
be
the
Alex,
one
wouldn't it?
scheme marker down there.
Yeah,
wasn't
that was a slight misplay. I think he was
there?
he was focused on obeying to walk away.
Yeah.
If he could have
Just
just
walked
walked
down and
Iggy and
picked up.
interacted to remove.
Because I think that is the only scheme marker
that's
there.
the only
that
scheme
is.
marker.
But if it still ends as a draw, right? It's.
Hang on, they're just out.
I think it's a 5-5. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 5-5. Yeah, it's 5
5
each.
all.
Nice. How did I get 3 heads? Yeah, 3 heads.
Yeah, so he's got 3.
So it is going to go down to whoever was on tiebreakers before they come through to the final.
Yeah.
I got that dig and I got this dig. So
Ty's
that's 7.
gone.
Stop you from winning. Draw. Yeah. Like what? He's got high def. Well, I haven't lost a game yet, but. Jeez.
Yeah, so Alexander, he's not lost the game yet, so.
Trying to listen to see whether we can hear his
Yeah,
commentary.
try to figure it.
It's one game by a point and one the other two by a lot.
Draw.
And Alex,
Is that how it's done?
Oh yeah, got you. Oh, you always got
So Alex goes through apparently from
Wow.
based on not losing the game yet.
Yeah.
So they're doing it based on wins rather than
Yeah,
stuff. So
Yeah, so Alex gets the
Yeah.
win. Yeah,
That was
GG.
a
So it
very-
sets up an Alex Ollie final.
I scared the chat because I misunderstood. I forgot
Set-
inescapable
set
trap
up,
and
so
set
it's
up. So I was like,
that's
oh, he's
3
got 3
points. Yeah, it
points.
was like, oh, that's massive in the lead.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was a good game.
I know you were.
Wow.
I kept going to
Who would have called that for the final, eh?
Yeah, Matt,
I
Alex
thought
Ollie.
Ollie could do it, but I wouldn't have called Alex. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, well.